Also, I totally forgot to mention this, but I feel like this is a very important part to my whole spiritual journey, and it's the fact that I experienced hallucinations. That was part of my mental illness at the time. That's why I went to the mental hospital. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because that, I feel like, opened something in my brain. I obviously was seeing stuff that was not actually there. I was seeing people. I was experiencing a whole different reality that wasn't physically here and that people like couldn't see. And even though that was, you know, a mental illness, it's still like when you experience something like that, it changes your life and changes, I feel like, the way your brain works. Because if I'm over here and I can see all this stuff and no one else can see it, but it feels so real to me, how are you gonna tell me that that's like a part of it is not real? If that makes sense. I feel like that makes no sense. I am very aware that that was a mental illness, and I'm not trying to downplay hallucinations or schizophrenia, bipolar, psychosis, any of that at all. I know how terrible that is, and I'm not trying to make it seem like, oh, it's just these spiritual beings coming into your life and like giving you messages. No, no, no. I know how fucked up that is, and I'm very sorry if you're struggling with that, and I'm not trying to downplay it whatsoever. But the fact that I, you know, experienced this whole reality that no one else could see, it just made me feel like there's so much more out there that we're not aware of. Like, there must be. Like, how can I experience all this stuff and it, like, that's it? There's just no way. Like, that, the fact that I experienced a whole different reality just made me realize or unlock this part of my brain that was like, this reality is not all that there is. And from that point on, like, even when I healed, I don't have hallucinations anymore, but even like my meditations before I had hallucinations, they weren't very, like, they weren't as visual as they are now. And even my dreams, even like when I'm making a decision, for example, I, like, in my mind, when I'm like deciding, it's all very visual, obviously, but I like see the good decision that I then go with in like bright colors, and then the decision that I don't go with in like dull, very gray colors. And I didn't experience stuff like this before I went through, you know, my hallucinations and all that. So I don't know what that did exactly, but it did something. And that was a huge part of my spirituality, and just in general, going through a very dark time. I feel like a lot of people, you know, either become religious or start believing in something because it's so hard to go through it, and you need something bigger than you to believe in. And not to say that you can't go through it being an atheist, you totally can, but to me, I needed something else to like keep going. I needed to have the beliefs that I have now that like I took on as I was going through this to keep going. And I feel like deep down, that's why I'm as spiritual as I am today. I don't think I would be if I didn't go through that shithole. But yeah, just like believing that there's a reason for why I experience certain things in my life. I also believe in the fact that like the universe gives you scenarios so you can heal, and it oftentimes gives you very similar experiences over and over again because you have not learned and you have not healed yet. And I also believe that, you know, your soul chooses to come into this life and into, you know, the family that you grew up in, into the country, whatever, like into the circumstances that you're living in for a reason, to expand and to grow and learn. I believe that it's all a journey, and I don't think this like body is really me, like it is me in this world, but I feel like I have like a higher self, a soul. It's just temporarily in this body or experiencing life through this body, if that makes sense. I feel like I sound crazy, but that's just what I believe in. I feel like I believe in past lives, but then again, I haven't experienced that yet, and I never really dabbled into like past life regressions or anything. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that yet. I'll figure it out maybe. Who knows? And I don't also fully know like where you go after you die. I don't know. I'm not gonna know until I die. So I don't like claim that there's a heaven or that there's that my soul is gonna go to another body. Like, I don't know. Maybe it could go to another body. Maybe I'm gonna become a guardian angel. Maybe I'm gonna be some alien living in a different dimension. Who knows? I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I've had some crazy experiences through meditations, and I really want to do ayahuasca so badly. So hopefully I can do that. Maybe, I don't know. Let me know if any of you have done ayahuasca before. I'd love to hear about it. And like love to hear if you recommend it or not. I'm probably gonna do it either way, but yeah, I want to do that so badly. But anyway, I've been doing like different types of meditations for years now, and they really like solidified beliefs that I have. And even I created new beliefs through these like almost out of body experiences that I've had. And yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you want to hear about it. But I've been to space, which was great. I've swam with a killer whale, which is my favorite animal. It was so loving and caring, and I'm in love with that animal. So I did that. I like met my guardian angel. I feel like I sound insane. I feel like has been with me since I was a little kid. And I hung out with my, like, this is all different meditations, by the way. I hung out with my grandpa a few times, which my grandpa passed away years ago, but he was like my best friend growing up, and it was really hard for me when he passed away. And I don't remember a lot because I was like 6 when he passed, but I just know that he was such a big part of my life, and I was his little princess. Like, he really praised me and loved me hardcore, and I remember that, but I don't have a lot of actual memories of him because I was so young and I blocked out a lot of my childhood, which is a whole other story. But yeah, that was really healing. And a lot of it, like recently I had a dream that he died, and my dreams are very hardcore, very visual, very real, very intense. Sometimes I feel like I don't even sleep because like the dreams are so intense. I need like another nap just to like calm myself down from the dream. But I experienced his death again, and I feel like it really helped me to like heal the wound that I never got to heal. I've had many meditations or like out-of-body experiences that like changed my life and changed my whole perspective and how I think and my mindset. So let me know if you want me to make a whole video about it, because I have a few. I don't really know, like I'm into crystals, I'm into tarot cards, psychics, all that. Sign me up any day. And also Teal Swan was a huge part of my spirituality. I forgot to mention this, but she's a spiritual teacher. I have her tarot cards, I use her meditations, her books are amazing. I love her videos on her YouTube channel. Like, she's someone, her teachings and the way she teaches like just resonates with me so much. She does a lot of like shadow work. That's mainly what she does, which is like bringing the subconscious crap that we all have and traumas and all this stuff to the surface and healing it. That's at least my perception of shadow work. There's probably a better explanation, but I've healed so much through that and through her work. I'm not into, you know, suppressing everything that's negative so that we can always be happy and attract everything and manifest everything that's just really happy, because I don't think that works because long term, because there is a subconscious mind. And I can make a whole other video about my issues that I have regarding this like new age law of attraction community or movement or whatever you want to call it. As I said, I'm all for the law of attraction and like manifesting. I have recently gotten really good at manifesting. I've manifested like big things in like 2 hours, which is crazy, and I'm really happy about it. But anyway, whole other topic again. Also, a huge difference is I am so much more chill. Like in the past I was like so anxious and all over the place, overthinking constantly, and I still fall into those habits, don't get me wrong, but I just felt so crazy, and like there was never a moment where I could just be still and just like feel at peace, and now I experience that very often. So I feel a lot more chill. I'm so much more trusting, and like I feel like so much more positive as well, because even when I like go through negative experiences, I know that I'm going through them for a reason, and I know that there's a lesson, and that just makes me so much more peaceful, and I just trust that, you know, I am guided in the right direction and there's no mistakes, there's no coincidences. And also the last thing that I wanted to mention quickly, I have so many other things I could talk about, but I feel so much more feminine, and a lot of people when I say this are like, what? And they tell me that I've always like seemed very feminine, but most of my life I felt like a very masculine girl, and not like my appearance, but just like inside, and I felt like my energy was like that. And ever since I really connected with spirituality and through that with myself, I feel so feminine, and it's beautiful, and I feel like I can embrace this part of myself and not feel like shamed for it in a way, because at the time I associated a lot of the female qualities of being like more sensitive and emotional and intuitive. I associated those things with being weak, which now I think that's the opposite. But yeah, I was able to embrace my femininity a lot more, and I feel a lot more feminine and a lot more comfortable with being sensitive and being open, even in like romantic relationships, which I feel like is where this really showed, and that makes me really happy. So I would love to talk about like femininity, masculinity, this like toxic feminism movement we have going on, and then the actual real feminism. I'm down to talk about pretty much anything, so let me know what you want to hear. Okay, my battery's flashing, so I have to stop talking now. I feel like it's time. So hope you enjoyed this video. I have no idea how it's all gonna come together, but let's hope it all made sense and it wasn't all over the place. And yeah, thank you for listening, and I can't wait to see you soon. Bye.